Yo, 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 yo. What's happening? What's happening, BRAX?
Not much, not much. I was looking for the live to share it. Thought I was on Instagram because I'm a silly little goose. But
Yeah, it kind of gets a little complicated when you got like 15,000 different fucking things going on here.
yeah.
Yeah, we're here, Local Riffs, Season 2, Episode 22, with BRAX again. We're BRAX 2.0, BRAX from the grave. We're going to be talking about a whole bunch of goodies today. We had Swamp on last week, and we kind of hit a few things, some coming up stuff, and maybe you can clarify a few things. I think you was checking out some stuff, but welcome back to the show. How's it been going since the last time we chatted with you, man?
Pretty good. I think since last time we've did a few shows in Cali. We've been getting from what I said before, where I wanted to get my name across South. We've been working on that. Been trying to break out in different states. Shout out Mobile, shout out Pensacola, shout out Bad for Business, Swamp Band, all the homies. And if you're not there, September 6th for my 18th birthday, what the fuck are you doing?
Man, I know Local Riffs is going to be in that motherfucker. Shout out Levy Bell, too. We're going to be hitting it. It's going to be where? Zeitgeist over on St. Claude in New Orleans. Who else is going to be there, man?
Swamp Band. So let's talk about Heaven, which is the homies Sinful, Dollywood, Maddox, and all the other homies. Ian Sue. Shit. And Isaac. Fuck. I'm trying to remember everybody.
It's a pretty stacked. It's a stacked bill for sure.
Yeah. I know the homie Lonzo's coming out too. Shout out Lonzo. But I got some homies from Florida coming, special guests. We got Sanctified coming out from Denver. We got who else we got? Give me a second. We got Snowman coming out from Houston. And we got
the DJ who
DJ Sisty.
Sanctified hit me up, talk about him. I'm gonna be there. I was like, yeah, fucking course I'm gonna be there, man. Yeah,
if you could get an interview in with him.
Oh yeah,
fire as fuck.
I'm gonna bring my little media rig and stuff like that. Yeah, he reached out, wanted to chat and stuff. I think it's cool, and I think we was talking a little bit about it earlier, before the show started. Like how the connections have been, since the last interview that we've had. I've done came across a lot of different artists. They're interested in what we're doing. And really not even getting the word out about Local Riffs. It's just happening, through connections and making those, building those bridges with the different artists that we do communicate with. And I think it's cool. He's flying all out. Where is it, from Colorado or something? He's going to be coming out.
Yeah, he's from Denver.
Denver, yeah. Sure. So I think that's cool as hell. And we definitely will be, chatting. Shout out Sanctified. I want to. We're gonna go, a little bit into the tour and stuff like that, but I do want to get a little bit into the name of the tour and it going to Spread the Rot. To kick it off, just kind of elaborate a little bit about that and what made you come up with the name, or what brought the name, up like that.
So Spread the Rot initially came around when, I know we talked about it in the first interview as well, because I've been saying it even before this tour, but to me, Spread the Rot is the same thing as spread the word, spread my name around, but I say Spread the Rot because all my music's about me, and it's all who I am and my mental health, and it's journalism, and at times I feel like I'm rotting, and that's why I talk about rotting in my music so much. So Spread the Rot to me is spread the word. And so, Spread the Rot, the tour, is me getting around. And as I said, we're trying to build something here. We're trying to build even more than just my career, just a scene in general. And I think we're slowly doing that, but we've only been doing it for a year. And it's going to take a lot more than a year to build a scene. So it's just everything's slowly coming together, but it's just, it needs more time.
I think when you say build a scene, I have a feeling that y'all are on the right track to doing that. And we was talking a little bit about it earlier, before the show, or whatever, about the grinding and the willingness to get the rot out there, and bringing it to places, I guess, that really doesn't have a quote unquote scene for that kind of music or genre or style, but it's welcome with open arms, and instead of trying to like fit into the scene, or I guess, I mean, yeah, being a part of the scene is one thing, but when you're trying to build a scene, strictly on, what you believe and, what your music's all about in the first place, it does take a lot of hard work. And I think the work y'all are definitely putting it in there. And, it does take a little while, but that's the whole beauty of the journey is taking a little while. It might take years instead of just one or two, but I really think that it makes a difference, just people, coming together, and the venues and the places that's willing to accept something new.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, venues, I'm not really mad, because like I understand venues, because it's also a thing with laws. Like a lot of us, especially the rap, everybody's very young, because like Stars in college, Swamp Bane's 19 turning 20 next year, I think. I'm 17 turning 18 next week. So everybody's just younger. So it's like, even if we wanted to play some venues, we can't, because they're 21 plus. And it's like, even if we could play, could the audience that we pull play? Because the audience is going to be around our age, especially in like our local scene, because this is where we live. And like, especially for the birthday bash, like, it's a lot more than just fans. I know I got friends coming too, but that's a big thing, is a scene can't be a scene with, as much as they need to have musicians, they need to have people that want to see the musicians. And that's, shout out Shady Nasties and shout out Mobile, because that's really what made me see everything. Because Shady Nasties especially, there's people that just go because it's the venue, and they have bands that are coming from out of state. And people want to discover that music.
And that that's a huge part of it, is somebody that's, or people that's willing to, go out to it, maybe their favorite spot. And I mean, I was talking with Matt from the Goat, the owner of the Goat, last night, and having a dedicated crowd, or dedicated I'll say customers, or however you want to put it, just to come there because there's music most of the time, and usually it's newer music, or music that people hasn't heard of, or styles or genres, or just and it makes a difference in the 21 plus. It kind of baffles me, what I'm saying, because I think it's more of like a some venue owners or venue or laws, like you're saying, they might just not want the hassle of having to have a wristband that says you're 21 plus, or something like that. But I do respect some venues in New Orleans, especially. They do try to keep it to the 18 plus at minimum. Like, I know Howlin' Wolf still does it. Zeitgeist still does it. And of course they got the Free Store over on St. Claude. They do a lot of all ages shows most of the time. But the scene, and having a scene, and creating one, it does depend on the people that's willing to come out there. And I have to commend those that stand true to enjoying live music, and I think that's what the whole point of having a scene is all about anyway. Yeah, man, what you got?
I ain't got no much. But
You got much, man?
So other than that, the Spread the Rod tour is gonna be NOLA September 6th, which is my 18th birthday show. So if you're not there, what the fuck are you doing? After that, September 21st, we're playing Pensacola at CC Store. Shout out CC for letting us play there, for one. Awesome. And it's awesome the fact that she's letting us build a scene out there with a store as a venue.
I just think it's so cool that people are willing to try it, not even behind no kind of financial thing. It just gives the opportunities for younger people and new artists to try to expand their horizons and stuff. So tell me a little bit about tour life, man. I know you've been out to LA and stuff this year for sure. You've been working pretty hard, getting out there and spreading the rot. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. All right. Before I talk about that, Houston October 12th and Mobile November 9th. Sorry,
Yeah,
I just didn't want to forget the last two dates beforehand. But yeah, so I mean, luckily for me, because I understand. I mean, I'm a kid. I don't have a bunch of money, so I'm not gonna do tours that are like a week where I'm going state to state to state. I don't have money to do that, so I'm still like I work a job and shit still, and then like now I'm going to college, so I'm actively working and stuff. So luckily for me, I split everything to where I'm away for like 3 days in a different state or something at most, and then I get to come back. So to me, tour life's not horrible. I enjoy it. I like traveling, and I like the fact that now that I'm getting to all these places, I've seen that hey, other scenes are doing this, this, and this. Let's work off of this and see what these guys are doing right. And the same thing like with the punk scene down here. The punk scene's been alive for so long, and it's like, hey, let's see what these guys are doing for the fact that the punk scene can sell out a punk show and they don't need to cross blend genres.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with having cross genre shows, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to have a rap scene where I have to depend on multiple other scenes just to have a show. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, I like the way you put that, because I do see a lot of like mixed genre kind of things to build a show.
Yeah.
And I'm looking here at the lineup again. That's I mean, that's a pretty cohesive lineup. And I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, I think five of these artists on this bill. Um it's definitely, you're not relying on any kind of other I guess group or crowd to come in there to throw this show. Really just the supporters.
Yeah.
And like you were saying about, the friends and stuff coming, I think that's very important to creating a scene.
Especially in small, like where we are in underground, especially for small, even small bands. Cause like really all it is, especially when you're that small and getting started, for your first, second shows, like it's gonna be just your friends. Because you haven't you haven't rehearsed 24/7 and you don't have the experience. Cause don't get me wrong, I rehearse and rehearsing is definitely good, but nothing's better than actually getting on stage and talking to the actual people, because that's a big thing I found out while rehearsing. Because I rehearse all like the antics and stuff I do, because I put a lot of work into everything I try to do. So like before I do the antics, like the hearts and stuff, I try to plan everything out, and the costumes and the fake blood and how I'm gonna put the blood on and all that stuff. But for me, I think I I think it's just when you're in front of a live crowd and actually speaking to them, and you're having a live crowd react to you and not just you speaking and then predicting what somebody's going to say, but actual live interaction is the best practice. And that's why I'm saying, like, first, second show, it should be just your friends. And you may pull people, but just small band wise, it's all experience thing, and there's no better experience than actually doing it.
We got Swamp Bane in the comments. He said,
What's up, Swamp Bane?
It said, dead ass, we need a straight rap scene. Got Po' Boys in there. Yep. Hey, appreciate it, guys, for joining the chat.
What is up? Shout out Po' Boys. Shout out Swamp Bane. Something we want to do, and shout out to Hammond. What I've been trying to do is, we were talking about me and Swamp Bane. They have a skate shop up there, and they were talking about getting boards in it. But I was like, hey, instead of that, let's just see if we could do a sponsorship with them and something, because I have a PA system, and that's what we're doing for CC Store in Pensacola, September 21st, is that I'm going to haul my PA system up there so we can throw the show. Because, like, it's a store, and they have a stage, but it's DIY, and we're just trying to make the best of it. And it's better than not doing it at all.
Well, I mean, taking an initiative to ensure that you are bringing it, and we used to do it all the time when I first started being in bands and stuff like that. We'd never like to rely on too much of anybody to be able to perform, and we was always wanting to get the music out there. We always wanted to make sure that the show could continue or go on, and I think that just shows hard work and dedication. I mean, you're taking the initiative to make sure that y'all can perform, and I think the DIY scene, especially in the South, I think it's a lot more accepting than what some of the other places that I've been, as far as just like letting the group of people or the artists to create their scene.
Yeah.
And it does take I don't know. And you asked me earlier, have I seen that many rappers or any kind of like artist along those lines, as far as the scene goes? And I told you, not really. I mean, besides y'all, the majority of this bill that's going to be playing on September 6th, I see Trap Rock. I think they're doing. Shout out to them. I know YFW Peasy is going to be throwing a show October 30th at the Free Store. That's another kind of trying to get that same kind of momentum going to where it's a continuous thing to have a scene like that. Because I mean, honestly, it's like it's non-existent. Honestly, unless like y'all are doing it, and I think it'll catch traction. I think it has already.
I think a big thing, and we'll talk about this later, but I think a big thing right now is that we're gonna see more people from other places like the Gulf Coast scene that isn't anywhere from a 3-hour radius, and more people are gonna start coming down here, and hopefully more acts from NOLA start going out there, so where we have an interconnected scene.
And that's not really too far apart to be able to do that little traveling to show support, and not only that, to spread that to make
Spread
that
the rot.
spread that. Listen to it.
Yeah.
I think it makes a huge difference by and you said it earlier about just New Orleans, because that's where we're majority at, and that's kind of what we think of as a scene, our scene or whatever. But I think building it to where it's across the board, to where like you have this niche that's across the South or nationwide, or however worldwide, universal, whatever, and in its own little spot, in its own place, and not having to rely on an out of place bill, unless those people, you're trying to support them also and stuff like that. I guess it would make a difference. But when I see BRAX, when I see Swamp Bane, when I see Savage, when I see Snowman, when I see YFW Peasy, when I see Trap, when I see all the, I want to see them, their show that day in, day out, or every weekend or whatever. It's something I can go refer to as the rap or hip hop scene that's happening.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, to me it's almost non-existent, to the comparative to like the punk or the metal scene or something like that. And I think that y'all are around the era that can make that happen, and push it. I mean, y'all have been. It's just I don't know why people's really not getting hooked on it.
Yeah. I think it's just,
I am.
I think it's a time thing, because it's like, realistically, we've only had 6 shows down here, because like for me, I don't want to oversaturate, so I'm not gonna play every weekend. Now, do I want to get the Lafitte or Lafayette? Sorry. Do I want to get the Lafayette, Homa, and Baton Rouge? Yeah, and that's my plan, is to start actually going around Louisiana, and not just New Orleans, but all around Louisiana. And so shout out to homie Kaleidoscope, that Deftone band, or not Deftone, the shoegaze band, fire as fuck. I fuck with them heavy. They just released a demo. If you haven't checked it out, I think you should. They're pretty fire. But they're definitely, I think, they were talking about, there's the Loose Caboose, but I know the Pit just opened too.
Mm-hmm. Well, the grand opening is Friday, and I'm gonna be going out there to see Brat, Muscle, Hole Opener, Necromeyer, and Swamp Grave. It's gonna be a onslaught of metal, that's for sure. But I think that's kind of what they're leaning on, and basically just a stop, because it's right there off the interstate. And for bands or groups or artists to come through there and try to do that. And I think that I think more new venues kind of raises a little more opportunity for artists that's
Yeah.
wanting to get it done.
And I think the fact that Lafayette and Baton Rouge are both like college towns is definitely gonna help. And the same thing we were talking about Hammond. So with Hammond, and Hammond is college town too with Southeastern. So, but with Hammond, they have a skate park, and we were talking about that skate shop. I'd like to try to get a sponsorship or something that we can work together to have a skate competition or something up in Hammond and have a rap show with us, which is me, Po Boys, maybe the homie Lonzo, and some more for y'all. But yeah, so if you in Hammond, keep your eyes open.
Well, I know I know when we used to, when I used to be in a band and stuff, we played a few shows in Hammond, and it was so, but I think I've heard that it kind of died off, as far as, I mean, I know they still have shows there. I just don't see them as much. Maybe that's just because I look and rely on the feeds, I guess, a little bit more than what I used to. But y'all heard it, Hammond. Get ready, because I know there's some spots out there still that does music. I just don't know how often they do it.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge would be a good one. Lafayette would be a good one. I think me and Mo from Tales from the Riff was talking about Lake Charles one time, where we're like, everybody's kind of got their respective place in the music scene, but you never hear Lake Charles. I mean, hell, even Alexandria we hear sometimes, Shreveport. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's just another spot out west. You can just hit that up sometimes. But I think the Pit, I think that'd be a good spot for y'all over in Lafayette. Once it gets up and running. Loose Caboose. I think I've seen a few little hip hop shows there, or I think they got a lot of venues in Lafayette too that does stuff. So, well, tell us a little bit about this latest single that you dropped.
So Dead Love is actually a part of Teenage Delirium. I don't know. We leaked the cover art and Dying in the Bathroom. I don't know if you saw that with Perry Mason. Shout out Perry Mason. But so Teenage Delirium is going to be my next EP. And right now they have 2 more releases left until the whole EP is finished. And so Dead Love just dropped in September. And October, we're going to drop The Creatures in My Room Were Me All Along, which I really fuck with that one because it's very, like, I don't know. To me, it's very heartfelt. But
I think a lot of your music's heartfelt.
yeah.
Honestly. I mean, and you stay true to your style, even listening to this. I mean, I have to admit, because, keeping up with your Instagram, I get to see a lot of, your progress and, the grind that because you're always on it. You're definitely trying to get the rod out there. I just like how you're staying, the shows that I see you doing, your performance, it's staying exactly how you anticipate it, how you want to do it, but I'm just checking out your Spotify right now, man. So.
Yeah. So but Dead Love is about me personally. It was during a time in my life where I don't know, I just wanted more and nothing felt like enough, and it was like, was it more of a lust? It was something that was more like, do I want something more, or is it like just lusting for something that I can't have? And I think it took me a while to sit down, and I think it's a big thing with music too, and having patience is a big thing. But to me, and the whole thing that Teenage Delirium is about is now, like, I'm out of high school, I'm in college now, I just started college, so it's like, now it's like, this is like the real, like, it's not bullshit. I'm out of high school. Now it's like, not life or death, I guess, but to me it's life or death. But I guess to another person it wouldn't be life or death, but financial life or death for another person. But
exactly,
to me it's life or death, and it's like, now this is for real. And I didn't have a goal to where I wanted to be, but I knew what I wanted to do, and like a idea where I wanted to be from the last time when we were talking about stuff. And I think I'm definitely working my way there. But like, I don't think my name's out in all the South yet. It's not where I want to be. And I think there's a difference with being content and being comfortable.
Which are you?
Neither.
A good answer.
Yeah.
Because I think both of those adjectives or adverbs, however you look at it, I think that's a spawn of laziness. I think it's a spawn of distraction. When you get content, you can still be happy and content,
Yeah.
but you might limit yourself like that. And um, I don't see, I don't see that in you either one. I think I see you you wanting to continue to push yourself and get and your name out there even more.
I think being content at times is good, and that's why I say content and comfortable. Because I feel like I'm never comfortable, but at times, because I have a problem where I stress out a lot. Because to me, it's like I'm never where I want to be, but sometimes I have to sit down and be like, "Hey, I need to understand who I am as a person," and the fact that I've only been performing for a year now,
Hmm.
so maybe I'm not gonna be where I am. So I have to be content with the idea that I'm growing, but I can't be content or not content, but I can't be comfortable with where I am and stop.
You just have to be um, you have to continue to be motivated,
Just keep
even
evolving.
yeah, and
Yeah.
because it's not going to take overnight. It's not. I mean, those senses of comfortability and contentness or whatever. It it to me, as far as I'm me personally, I'm always trying to strive to do something just at least 1% more the next day. I'm always on the grind for whatever this cause is. With local riffs. My positive. I told you earlier. I went through a few things. A few months ago. That's totally not me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like I feel as though if I can always continue to put one foot forward, I think that's taking you out of the realm of comfortability and content. Now, the bad news about not feeling those, or me personally, is that just kind of like you said, is like how far are you gonna go before you're comfortable, or are you
Yeah.
always gonna strive to be the best if you become the best?
Yeah.
Is that even a thing?
Because that and burnout is a real thing.
Oh, of
So
course,
it's
yes.
like as much, and it's the same reason why so many like musicians and artists in general suffer with mental health. Like burnout is a real thing, and it's something that like you want to be careful about. Because like that's something I've learned is like I get burnt out real bad. So it's just like juggling that kind of balancing everything. Because it's like I work, I go to college now, and I'm trying to do the music shit. And other than that, I'm trying to do 10 things at once because I like planning 3 months ahead.
Hmm.
But then that 3 months, I have to plan for the next 3 months.
Yep.
And I always got to keep something going because if I don't, you
Oh,
fade.
yeah, I totally get it. Because I mean, and you're right. I think burnout, that burnout syndrome. Me personally, I thought I was facing that earlier this year, about April or May kind of thing, and almost threw in the towel. I'm not even bullshitting, and like, um, I just changed it up.
Yeah.
I did something different. I tried different things. I wanted to, expand on different levels instead of just the same level. Because at some point, I feel like I did reach a plateau as far as me as a human, and like, pushing myself a little differently, not even harder, just differently. Trying to, trick my muscles or something. And I think, to avoid burnout, I think you kind of do have to do that. And even if it is taking a break from, the norm that you're used to.
Yeah.
And I think it just I think just remaining positive in a sense kind of like, kind of makes you feel a little better, or makes you think that you are doing something
Yeah.
right, I guess, or it's actually meaningful to you and other people, not just something that and you're talking about work and school. Now that's shit that you got to do if that's what you plan on
Yeah.
fucking continuing to do,
Traveling ain't cheap.
Exactly. And I told you, I had me a little vacation, but, after working for so many consecutive years, I needed a break from actually doing that, and I think it was one of the best decisions I've made, because, after it was all said and done, and, I got a new job, it was like I'm totally no stress, you know, and I think it made a difference from taking a break from different things, you know, not really passions, I guess, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Um, not running out of things to say. I'll ask your pizza. What's your favorite pizza tops? I think we asked that the last time. Is it still the same? I don't know. Maybe. No, I'm just fucking around. You know, we went through inspirations and all that stuff the last interview. What now? And I could tell that you've matured actually a lot since the last time, you know, we've interviewed, as
Yeah.
far as it seems like your mental capacity has gotten sharper. You know, and it's not saying you was scattered then, but now it seems like you've honed in on a certain focus, you know.
Yeah, I feel like and it's kind of a big thing with everything in general. Same thing with live shows. Same thing with making music and just everything. It takes experience. Like my first interview ever, of course, it's like I'm gonna be scattery and jittery. And I think with everything, it's just an experience thing and over time. And the same thing, and this is just the general thing for an artist. Artists get better and they get worse, but the whole point is that the artist is ever evolving and ever changing.
Yeah, for better or for worse. Um, I think it keeps you on your toes also, and I think we talked about it the last interview because it was Savist and you here. The experience level, you have to go through it. You have to experience to even have that tell to tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and when I've seen you going out here on the road and stuff, man, that is phenomenal. Me and Swamp was talking about it the last time. Me and Peasy talked about it on the episode that me and him did. Um, I mean, you basically went out there in the blind at first, you
Yeah.
know, and but I think that right there, and I was telling Swamp about this because this is I think his first tour going out there, you know, and doing
Yeah, this is
stuff.
gonna be because I brought him. He came to Houston with us, or not with us, but Snow's from out there. So he came to Houston. Me and him went to Houston with Snow and all of them to go play out there. And that was his first time in Houston. And then
Hmm.
we're going back out there for the tour October 12th. But definitely, and I think one thing I do like to see is the fact that there is other scenes. And even though like Pensacola has a scene, but it's kind of like ours where it's like halfway dead. Where
Hmm.
it's like it's there. Like we days before death was like 58 people. Like it's able to be done, but it has to be organized. So it's like there's potential, and even if there aren't super live scenes in some of these places, there's still potential, and especially people like I don't know if you've seen Yes Daddy, but Yes Daddy's from Alabama, and he's plays in Pensacola, New York, and
Yes, I
Cali, and all
actually, as a
that.
matter of fact, I have seen. I saw him in Hattiesburg.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Like Yes Daddy. People, especially me, Yes Daddy, Broke Florida Boys used to do it, and Bad for Business kind of started going everywhere. They're coming with us on tour too.
Not to cut you off, but I'm stunned that you said that name because we went to the show thinking it was a comedy show because you know, he does he does other stuff too, but anyway, it was a blowout, and it was
Yeah.
up at a place called MPV Lounge in Hattiesburg, and he popped in, boom, did the VIP thing, did the performance on stage, whatever, and we got to talking with his people, and he had did a show that day somewheres, and he came through there, and then he was on the way to the next thing, and he was just like knocking them out, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back kind of what you're saying. It's like, um, oh shit, sorry, live stream. Um, stopping in at those, even though it might not, you don't know what you can create when you
Yeah.
stop in
And
there.
Hattiesburg has a scene. I've seen recently Hattiesburg, and I've been wanting, because right now I've played Mobile, Pensacola, Los Angeles, Houston, NOLA. And I'm definitely not gonna stop going to NOLA, Mobile, and Pensacola. Don't get me wrong, but my plan is to get around the South, and
Hmm.
so I drive a Camry, bro. My car's old. I know I can't drive 6 hours, but I know I can make a 3-4 hour drive. So like Starkville up in northern
Hmm.
Mississippi, going to Lafayette, home of Baton Rouge, like I was talking about, but even going to like Panama City, where there's not a rap scene, but there's a metal scene. And the same thing, the same way that Bad for
Oh,
Business works with all that.
Birmingham, they got a nice
Yeah.
little popping scene up
If you
there.
know Oversight, I want to plan something out. We're talking about something where we're hitting Mobile and Birmingham back to back
Mm-hmm.
with similar, not similar bands, but a mix of Mobile and Birmingham bands.
That'd be a nice little run, because I know that Birmingham, they have that's probably the closest that I've seen, as far as versatility all happening in one night.
Yeah.
You know, usually you have a pretty big besides New Orleans, but usually you have a big show, or a show that everybody's going to be at or whatever. But when we went, me and Levy went to Birmingham, I think it was in May. That was before our Tampa trip. But we went to Birmingham, checked out Bag. You know, they're from New Orleans. We went, caught the homies up there. Went to another show after that, Jack the Elbow at the Nick. And on our way back, we went to Hattiesburg. We stopped in there and did a show. We checked out a show at the Switchyard, and we went to Fat Cat that night too in Hattiesburg. But that was pretty fruitful. You know, it was. We saw a lot of different things. And when we was in Birmingham, though, man, they had like. I'd have to. I mean, it's not as obviously it's not as big as New Orleans as far as, you know, venues all over on every corner, but everything was popping, and they had different things going on all at the same time, and it just wasn't like one or two venues and people were choosing which the best show was. You know, so it gave a lot of option.
Think that's a big thing. Where like all these cities in like a 3-4 hour radius have their own small scenes, and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, we're gonna talk about this later. And while I was talking about Yes Daddy, regional people like me, Yes Daddy, Bad for Business, Swamp Bane's getting out there, Snowman's getting out there with us. So it's like we're trying to set up, there's having these regional people that are getting to these regions so we can connect these scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That and I think that connecting those scenes, it helps. Let's use Snowman for instance. He says he's from Houston, right?
Yeah.
So that, what's to say that, you know,
he's born in a bayou, raised in H.
Okay, there.
Yeah.
He resides there, right? I think that, you know, connecting that gives options to where, you know, boom, you got the Houston headliner. Boom, you come and you got the New Orleans headliner. Boom, you get the, you know, it can be a different show every time, even with the same people. You can always have a different show, and according to which part of the region you're in. And I think doing it like how you're saying, it grows it faster, because you're constantly changing it, but, you know, give them the same quality and you know exactly what you want to give them, but and bringing in those artists from the region into your spot, and then you go into their spot, and then you're going to the next person's spot, you know. Yeah, y'all definitely should check out Birmingham for sure.
Yeah,
Get
I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to go there.
Firehouse for sure.
I know in the future, definitely, I want to hit. I'm planning to do something called the Sweat Tour with Snowman, and if you know who Big Pete is, he's from Houston too. But it'd be just getting my name around in Texas, so we'd hit San Ann, Houston, Dallas, and Austin, all in like a weekend, because I don't want to go to Texas 4 times in a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So definitely like in a week, or like a weekend, or maybe 2 weeks, hitting those 4 cities. And then after that, but I know I definitely want to get up in Homa, Lafayette, BR, Starkville, Hattiesburg, anywhere that wants me, I'll go.
Looking at Dying in the Bathroom right now. What's up with that song, man? I mean, that's just something you had on your mind, man. I mean, what's
So Dying in the Bathroom it's essentially the intro to Teenage Delirium, and Teenage Delirium's based on, as I was saying earlier, the experiences of switching from high school, or like teenage to adulthood, or early adulthood. And like a big thing I've always dealt with, I've talked about it before, and I'm open about my mental health, is psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
And so like a big thing with that is like, even till this day, I have a hard time telling what's real and not. And like at the worst, I used to have, I don't know how to explain it, but I'd kill myself, and it turns out I didn't kill myself. You know what I mean? So it's just, that's how I saw it, and I think it'd be a good intro because I still have a hard time. Not a hard time. It's not as bad as it was, but I still have troubles with psychosis and such. But to me, it's a good intro because, especially, I'm a big visual artist too.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing visuals, and the whole concept is overdosing in the bathroom and essentially having that 7 seconds or like that flash of life, and kind of that flash, you get a glimpse into how it was for me, because I won't be able to describe everything that's ever happened in my life, but this is the way that I journal it, because that's all my music is self-journalism. So it's the way for me to journalism and give a glimpse of my life and my experiences trying to switch from teenagehood to early adulthood while
Yeah.
dealing with all this.
And honestly, if you dig just a little bit deeper in it, it could be that part of you dying. It could be that flash of life that passes before your eyes, because it's a big step coming out of that part of life, going into another part of life. And it's that old saying that says the next chapter, or turn the page, or something like that in life. It's a huge thing, for, especially like with you and your creativity and stuff, and you actually feeling and self-motivating yourself to do your music and putting those emotions in there. And I think we was talking about it earlier, is like some of the music doesn't have those emotions, and that's what draws me especially to your music, is that it's literally you on a plate. There ain't no trying to figure out you know I would say what you're going through or anything like that, because you're it's there for everybody to hear, or listen.
Yeah.
I think it's real expressive,
I think
your whole
that,
style. So
and what I do like about Teenage Delirium is that I feel like the whole EP as itself, when it's finally finished and you can listen to it in order, it's experimental, but at the same time, it still keeps that same BRAX feeling to it
exactly.
and like flow. Cause like Dead Love is like, I'd say that's like a classic BRAX song. You know what I'm saying? Like if I thought of BRAX, I'd think something like Dead Love or like Where'd My Heart Go or something like that. But at the same time, there's experimental like this, and there's songs like that. Cause Teenage Delirium is very experimental. Shout out to homie Kenji. When we were out there, like I recorded some of the songs out there, and that's a big thing, is working in different spots and with different people who do different things and mix different ways. Cause I don't know if you saw, but me and Scott Poppy dropped a song on SoundCloud to Die in Pensacola, and like it sounds like a BRAX. There's a BRAX vibe, but at the same time, seeing how he mixed it and engineered it versus how something like Dark Rooms, which is part of Teenage Deliriums, and I've played it on live. If you're at any of the shows on Spread the Rot, be open to hear those Teenage Delirium songs. I'm not saying what's what, but when you hear it and you find out when it drops, just know you heard it early.
And like listening to those two just now, I can tell that I could just tell your style is just improving, and it goes back to the creativity. It's your mindset and it's just the fucking grind and the hard work and what the heartfelt emotions that you want to put in there. And what else would it be?
Yeah.
You ain't a fake guy. You know what I mean? What else would it be if you're just trying to like make the trendy shit? You know what I'm saying? I think we talked about it in the last interview. All of the cloud rap or whatever. Like I said, I just think that I just think that y'all's little, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's not like any
cloud rap niche.
Yeah, well, I don't even consider it that, because I've actually since then have kind of like listened to kind of because it'll pull up different things once you listen to the playlist and all that. That nothing. It's way original compared to a lot of the other things that try to be cloud rap. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, I guess that would be the best thing to put on it, but I just think y'all got a whole. I'll tell you that. I'll tell Swamp that. Sav, y'all just got something that nobody else is doing, in my opinion. And if it is, I haven't heard nothing comparative to it. So it might be a little difficult building a scene like that. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, if people come out and to the shows and check out the fucking music, you know, maybe they'll experience, hey, you know, this is a lot better than what some might say it is or not, you know.
I think it'll work out. It's just a time thing. I've only been performing live for a year, so it's like we've only all been around for live wise. We've all been around 1-2 years at most.
Um, you know, not gonna end it too short or anything, but I mean, I do want to thank you for coming back out here, and I really appreciate your support for the page that we, you know,
Yeah,
what
bro,
we
no
do.
problem. I love y'all. I remember like before everything, like when I first came here, I was like, I'm gonna do this, this, and that. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm just sitting there stuttering and scattering. It's just like it's crazy to see that I did all that shit, and like that's a big thing I have is I'm never content where I want to be, and like same thing I said in the last podcast, the whole you can't build Rome in a day, but you also can't build Rome by doing nothing every day.
Exactly. And
So it's
and no
like-
matter how long it takes, if you're not doing it, it's not gonna build itself for sure.
Yeah.
I will say that I think you've accomplished everything that you've said the last time you was on the show. You know, shout out to you for sure, because I mean, I've talked to people and artists and they had that same drive, and you know, and something in them kind of like, you know, dulled. And that's not that no more. They don't do that no more, or something. They don't even, I hate to say exist, but they're not in that realm of doing music or chasing their dreams or going after it, you know. And I will say, man, you have, you've come a long way since the last interview, and that's just basically, you know, chatting with you and even, you know, doing an interview, seeing your feeds with the shows and just the grind and dedication, and I think you've accomplished every single thing that you've mentioned before as far as planning to do. I think you have got to the point to where it's time for those next 3 months of plans is what you.
Yeah, summer's over, so now it's really coming down to it. But yeah, I guess I do need to plan more. But yeah, I'm excited for everything in general, and I mean I guess the next 3 months was spread the rod too. So I guess it's like the next
3
months. Yeah, but I'm excited for everything, bro, and I'm happy. I'm not content, but I don't know. I'm not happy where I am, but at the same time, understand that it's not gonna be instant. So it's just like you have to work.
You're accepting the fact that you got to put the fucking work in.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And people, and we was talking about this earlier. People think that just because you're doing it means that it's done. It's not. It's not fucking done. And just because you've done it a couple times, or you know, like you're saying, dude, like imagine you grinding at this pace. Let's just double the pace.
But like
5 years from now.
even before this pace, like I'd say how we were talking about the first interview to now, even before that, there was 3 years of BRAX.
Yeah.
That was just nobody knew about it, and it was just like this little, like,
But that
kept on
didn't-
the West Bank thing.
Well, that didn't prevent you from
Yeah.
doing the next 2 years or year.
But that's
you know?
what I mean. Is it's not just a one-time thing, and it takes time. It's like everything takes time.
I think sticking to it, if that's what you're if that's what's motivating you to continue to do it, or if I mean, obviously you're not just doing it for fun. You know what I mean? It's not a hobby of yours, is it?
Yeah.
You know, you're
Nah,
doing it
yeah,
because
this
this
is
is
like-
you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like especially for college, I guess is more my personal life. But like I'm going to school for music business, and I'd like to get a minor in production. So like I understand that not everybody makes it as an artist, and this is more of a music is a life or death thing, and it's a way that I work, and it's like I can't see myself working an office job, and I enjoy booking shows and shit. So like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I understand, and I have no restriction to never be an artist, but I understand at the end of the day, I may not be the next Drake or whatever, but I'm just doing me.
Mhm.
And I think that's really what is important. As long as I see myself evolving and growing, that's really all that matters to me as an artist and as a person. But to me, my music's my life and just music in general. And if I can't work in the music industry as an artist or even as somebody that books shows to help build the scene, because every scene has roles, and as much as the artist needs to be there, they need to have the booking agents. You need to have the blogs like you, Alt Scene, NOLA, Southern Mix Magazine, stuff like that. They need to have people like that. And so everybody has to play some type
Mm-hmm.
of part. So even if I can't be an artist, I'd still like to be something else if I'm like, I don't know, if I burn out, I guess, or well, I don't know, if I fucking die, then I'll be
I'll
dead. So
always, oh my god, no fucking Brax. I always kind of you know, make it known that we don't here at Local Riffs don't just support one style or one scene or even
yeah,
just NOLA scene, but we do support the scene to its entirety and all that connects it. And that
yeah,
goes right back down to what you're saying: the booking, the promoting, the fans, the supporters, the bands, the artists, the venues, the vendors. All of that stuff is part of it, because just like you're saying, it takes all of that to make a difference in a scene. And especially if you got passionate people that want to put their music out, and or just even do it to vent and express themselves at the minimum. You need all of that stuff put in place, and the collectives like Local Riffs and Alt Scene and there's plenty of us out there that we're speaking for myself for sure, driven to see that accomplishment for everyone, not just a specific person or a specific genre. And don't get me wrong, some things are more popular than others, but I think once you look at it as a whole, it's the whole that's important. It's not just a certain part of it, and I really appreciate what you're doing, because you're making those those assertions, those maybe somebody else is not doing it with the full steam, or maybe only being self-centered and doing it, and I like how you're set on doing it, to create a space for what you want to do as far as rap in general,
yeah.
because there's it's I mean, if y'all are out there and I'm wrong about this, where is the fucking rap scene at in NOLA?
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, everything can't be ran by one person. It's the same thing. Like,
Well, yeah, the collective. It's got to be,
yeah,
yeah.
as much as I love booking my own shows and stuff, at the same time, I book my own shows. I don't have time to book other people's shows because I may not be in state to run this show. That's another thing. When you book shows, like you are behind the scenes of that show, making sure that show runs. So it's just a thing where it's also just over time. What I've been saying, it's over time. Over time, there'll be more people that want to step up and do the business side and book shows and learn how to book and
Hmm.
learn how to film. I mean, I know there's a bunch of videographers and photographers in NOLA already, but just like over time, they'll have more booking agents. They'll definitely have more blogs. That's one thing I've seen. Definitely since that
Hmm.
last interview, is a lot more blogs have been popping up.
Yep. I've
And
I've seen a few like Riff Culture. I've met somebody. It's a SLC Renaissance. They do something similar. They go out to shows, cover different shows, and they're out in Salt Lake City. So I mean, there's and that's out there, but just having I don't see too many of those kinds of blogs around, as far as just more of like I don't know. It's hard to find like a collective that's doing it all at once.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And but it's amazing that there's other people out there that's actually interested in bonding those those connections, and tying those strings together. So um shout out that tour one more time, man, before we get off this air. And
Brother, actually, real quick,
yo, go
y'all
ahead.
want to hear about some shit on tour, or not on tour, but
Oh,
about a show we did? I got
oh,
some
you got us another
experiences.
story for us, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just
hit us
maybe
up,
just to
bro.
interest people to come out. But we were at a show we did. It was a birthday show for my homie Zero, and I killed a pig on stage.
Oh my god, man,
Yeah.
that's some Ozzy Osbourne shit,
Nah,
dude.
not a real
No.
pig. But anyways, yeah. So I had like a Peppa Pig pinata, right?
Mhm.
Right before the show, I was like, man, fuck this shit. I had a gallon of fake blood, not a gallon, but like the liter, because I usually throw fake blood on myself just with the designs of my outfit and whatever I'm going for the night, for the general vibe and aesthetic. But I was like, fuck it, I got all this fake blood. I got a pig right here. Why are we not doing some like slaughter of the lambs type shit and throw some blood on the pig? So I throw some blood on this Peppa Pig, and I think it was Psychotic Misery. It was the intro, Psychotic Misery kept going, and it got to the part where it was like, bitch, when I saw my mind of prison. Yeah. And then like where that little melody comes in and just went silent, because they got a part in the song just goes silent right before the chorus. All you hear is Mobile. And I throw this bloody ass pig in the state or in the crowd of like, it's like 80 people. That was my first like big, I think that was a show that really got me out in Mobile. So shout out Shady and Nasties and shout out Zero. I'm really thankful for that opportunity, that I got that opportunity to play. But I am very thankful for that. But yeah, so I throw this bloody pig out, and then like, I don't know, maybe 1-2 songs, they throw it back in front and they just throw me the fucking head, and I almost get hit with the head of this pig, and I'm just like, damn, they fucked this shit up. But yeah, so
Hey, I like how you and the show that I saw you at Zeitgeist, you get the crowd involved, and I think that's cool right there. So, well, what was inside the pig, man?
Ring pops.
Oh, there.
I bought some ring pops and threw that in there. I think, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but we will be breaking shit at the Spread the Rot shows. But especially for New Orleans, if you're interested and you like the new Spread the Rot shirts for the tour, you can get them now on BRAXpsychosis.com. But the brown one I'm wearing right here, you can only get at the show. So what we're going to do is we have one other than mine and my homies, or not my homies, just one other person's. But we have one shirt for this, and we're going to get everybody to sign it. And mid-show, we're going to throw it out. And if you catch it, you are the only person other than me and my associates and girlfriend
That has the brown.
has a brown BRAX shirt. So other than like 4 other ones that were never sold, this is the only one that we're giving away, is the one that we throw.
Sweet.
Not the one on me.
I might have to try to go get that brown shirt, man.
Facts, yeah. But I'm excited, bro. I'm really excited for the show. I think it's going to be great. I'm ready for it because not a lot of people know Dollywood's from Louisiana. And Dollywood's a pioneer. Shout out Dollywood. Shout out Star. Shout out Snowman. All the homies.
Well, I really appreciate you coming back on, man, and showing interest in what we got going on. If there's anything we can do to help, man, we will. Spread the Rot on tour. Going to be crunching the South. When's that start?
September 6th.
That's the first.
Birthday, yep,
That's the first.
show.
Okay, sweet. Well, we're gonna definitely be out there. Shout out to everybody that's on the bill. Hopefully, people ain't stunting and they get out there and fucking deal with it. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm ready to ride.
Yeah,
ready to be bloody.
that's the first stop on our night, and we definitely gonna be out there. So for sure. But
yeah, my mom be telling me I came back from a show and I showed her the pictures and she's like, man, Braxton, why you always look like Charles Manson? And I'm like, what? And she's just like, you look like a fucking cult leader. I'm like,
I love it too, man. Yeah, hey, it's you. That's what and I like that. I like that persona. I like that just the expression. And it fits it. There's no way around it. It's definitely you for sure.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know, at the end of the day, like, it's just me as a person. I feel like just every artist it's best to do you, like, what you feel, and you know what I'm saying? The art should be about you or what you want to make.
Well, I think we're gonna sign off for the night.
All right. If you haven't already, go listen to Dead Love, out now. My name's Brax. My Instagram is Brax from the Grave.
Yeah, this has been Brian with Local Riffs. We're here with BRAX B2. BRAX from the Grave. Catch the Spread the Rot tour out next Friday. Friday after next, September 6th. You got me hooked on this shirt now. So, but appreciate it again, man. Thanks everybody for in the comments. Thanks for people for watching. This has been Brian with Local Riffs. Peace.
See y'all.
voice, dying how I live. Side love my, I just wanna see you. Side love my, baby, I can't come through. Trap phone calling, you know I can't answer. Won't make it till tomorrow. Taking all my chances, I won't live forever, so I'ma die high. I won't last forever, so I live 3 lives. Trap phone calling, baby, I can't answer. You gon' hate me, but I got it for the two. You gon' hate me when you find me in that room. Suicide my speech, matter what I do. Trap phone calling, nothing really matters. 2 pills, baby, that life a disaster. I'ma die. I'ma die. Trap